Hey everyone, Dean Seifert with BirdReel here. Well, the day has finally come that we're ready to launch the BF39 egg camera to the world. We've been working on the design of this for quite some time, almost a year now, and we finally got our production units in. So I'm going to take you through an unboxing video today to show you the different components of the egg, and we'll talk a little bit about the different installation methods that you can use. This device works very similar to all of our other products. It works through the same application, the Bird Lover app. So if you already have an existing BirdReel device, you can just add this device to it without problem. And this one's a little bit unique because the battery is actually in the solar panel. So we'll talk through that in just a minute as well. So let's start with the box. It comes in a nice little square box with the egg on the front. We've got some info on the side here in terms of features. Then we've got the different mounting options. We've got magic arms, we've got a wall mount, we've got a pole mount mechanism, and then a house mount that you could install in a house. These can be used in a variety of different ways. These are just examples, and I'll show those components to you when we get in there. We've actually had people use this for all kinds of use cases beyond birds. Certainly you can use it for hummingbirds and regular birds. You could put it on a bird bath, you could put it on a feeder or an existing pole system. We've had people put it in their butterfly gardens, in their beehives. We've even had people put it on and stick on their aquariums so that they can watch their fish while they're not at home. And then on the back side, it just talks about the Bird Lover app and some more of the features. So let's open this guy up, take a look at it. When you open it up, you're going to be presented with this user guide. So this is a comprehensive guide that will tell you everything you need to know about how to install the feeder, how to install it in the Bird Lover app, troubleshooting tips, and then there's a warranty registration card. Highly recommend that you scan this QR code and register your device when you receive it with the serial number that's on the device. That way, if you do have any trouble or need to contact us, we have that record and can work with you on any warranty issues you might have. That's that. Little top cover here, and then we've got the device itself. So this is the egg camera, aptly named because it looks like an egg. You can see it's kind of got a round, sleek shape. It's all in black. The solar panel's in black. On the side here, you've got the panel that actually opens up the on and off switch. The SD card, the memory card, is underneath this panel, which it does come shipped with a 64 gig memory card, so you don't have to worry about that. There's also a reset button underneath there that you can gain access to. On this side, you've got information about the serial number and the FCC registration. Actually, the serial number is on this white label right here. There is a cover here that you're going to want to take off when you receive it. That is a protective film over the lens and the motion sensor. And then on the back, you've got the USB-C port. This is where you plug the cable into from the solar panel, or if you're powering it straight off of USB-C. You can give this constant power through a USB-C power supply, or you can use the included solar panel. I'm going to pop that back in there for now. This is the solar panel, very similar to the panel technology we've used in other cases, but this one's a little bit different because it actually has the removable battery built right into it. And so the juice for the camera is coming from the solar panel and really this battery. And so if you do need to recharge this for whatever reason because the solar wasn't enough to do it, you can bring this in and charge it with a regular USB-C plug right there. Pops right in there, and then this mounts on traditional kind of mounting mechanisms that we'll talk through as we go through. And then this particular mount is one of the style mounts. This is for the camera itself. So if you were going to mount this, say, inside of a house, you would use this and screw it onto the bottom of the device like that. Screw it into the bottom. Then this would be mounted, say, on the top of the house or in the side of the house. For our installations on our hopper feeders, we use this kind of mount to put it on the top of one of the other feeders, right on the roof, and so we could point the camera at some of the other feeder installations. So the sky's, your imagination really is the limit as to how you want to use these different mounting options. Then once we move this piece, we've got the next layer of components. We've got this little guy, which is a pole mount option. So this goes over a traditional 1-inch pole, which is what our APS pole system is at Wild Birds Unlimited. And then it has two threaded pieces on here. These are for installing these items right here, which we call magic arms. These are very bendable, twisty, and kind of rubberized arms that can be put into any position. And they have a screw on one end and then a female screw on the other. So the way this works is you basically screw this into position here, like that, and you'll see that there's a screw hole there. There's a screw packet in here. You use that screw to tighten this into position. So you have to be aware really as you look at this, there's a flattened edge on that screw. You want to line up this screw on that piece with the flattened edge so the screw securely connects to it. And so you might actually have the arm fully tension tight on here because you're trying to position it over the white area it's marked in white. And in fact, this one is, if you look in there, you can see the white. So this one does happen to be, it just happens to be the way I threaded it. But I could pull the screw in there and it would tighten this down positively. So that's how you connect one side. And then the other side, you're gonna have some components in here, which is a small disc that goes on there. And then you plug the camera onto it like this, and that disc allows you to tighten the camera into a position. So that's the basic premise of these arms. It comes with two arms, one for the solar panel and one for the camera itself. Totally optional, you can use other methods, but we envisioned that people would use this on their existing pole system. They would screw both of these on and then position the solar panel to point up to the sky and the camera to point at their feeder system. So that's one of the options for mounting. Inside this packet, you also have another mounting option for the solar panel, which is this guy right here. And this is more of the traditional kind of mount that we normally used. So these would not look new, but it goes together like that. This screws into position. You can tighten all of this into position basically by tightening this down. And that tightens the position of this. So this one is intended for the solar panel. This is gonna plug into the back of that. And again, where I use this is maybe on the side of a hopper feeder, or if you have a bear-proof feeder or some other system, you can use the 3 screws here to affix this on it so that the solar panel is in a particular position. That's that option. You're also gonna have some mounting screws in here. So there's anchor screws and just regular screws that you can access here. Here's your reset key, like is with all of our cameras, and that is accessed through that port on the camera. And then another set of mounting screws, because we've got this mounting method and we've got that mounting method, so there's a couple different screw packets. Once we then get to the bottom, I'm just gonna take this out so you can see everything as we go here. Once we get to the bottom, now you're gonna see the rest of the components. One of the important ones here is this flange. This is the same concept as the pole mount, but this is a flat mount. So same kind of 2 screw technology, and then screw holes here. Again, you could fix this to the side of a post, a fence, to a feeder, any variation like that, and then use the magic arms to screw into position like this. And those are our mounting options. Take a look at those. Inside the rest of the case, we've got a charging cable. This is if you need to charge that battery that's in the solar panel, you can charge it there. We've got a screwdriver because we are giving a number of different screw options, so you can use that. Then there's the cable that you use to go between the egg and the solar panel. And so one of these USB-C cables is for charging. The other one is 1 meter in length exactly, and it goes from here to the solar panel, and it's designed to basically be the exact same length as running from here to here. So it's that particular length. And then you use these alligator clips that look like this to secure the cable around this arm. So just to give you a sense of what that looks like, I'm not gonna put the whole thing together, but you can get an idea. The idea was to be able to run this cable from here to here and have the length work out perfectly, and then use these alligator clips to keep the cable in position. So you just kind of scoot that over the cable, and then you twist them like that. And so using these alligator clips, you can tidy it up a little bit so it doesn't look like you have just a cable hanging in the middle of air which looks kind of messy. And there are enough cables here to basically run the route here and all the way here back up to the camera. And there you have it. That's everything that's in the box. Just to go over this one more time, we've got this mounting method, which is the flat flange. We have the pole mount method, both of which use the magic arms. Then you've got the fixed mounting methods for the solar panel and for the egg itself. All of this comes in the egg component. You don't have to buy any of this stuff separately. We do have one other accessory, which are suction cups that could be used to mount the egg. Basically screws into these magic arms. The reason we're offering suction cups is people sometimes want to put it on a window or they want to put it on an aquarium. So that is an extra accessory that you can purchase at birdreel.com if you're interested. Some Wild Birds Unlimited stores will probably carry those, but if they don't, you can purchase them directly from us. They're just small suction cups about that big. They come in a pack of 2. And there you have it. That is the egg. We are really excited to get this in everybody's hands. I'm actually really excited to see the different ways that people start to install this and get all kinds of great photos. Just a reminder, this camera is an upgraded camera. This is a 2K 4 megapixel camera. So we have that on one of our other models, the BF23 Songbird feeder, but this camera is the higher resolution. And it's optimized for a focal length of about 3 inches out to about 18 inches or so. So it's a little bit further out than our typical cameras in terms of focal length, just because we don't know where exactly people are going to install it. But we think that the resolution of this is really going to set this camera apart. As always, if you have any questions, you can reach out to us at support@birdreel.com, or you can contact us at 1-833-459-7770. Thanks everybody, and happy birding.